Yeah, like, dude, I could set up a light and roll, but the kid went to bed
No,
at
no, it's cool, man.
11. Mom's sick. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
dude.
could roll it, but I don't want to.
Dude, if you need to, this way in 20 minutes. If you need to bomb, you bomb.
Yeah.
It's no big deal, man. Let's keep it simple. Hey, gang, I know you can probably hear us, but we're just getting set up. Little switch tonight of the plans, but that is no big deal. Whoa, Chris. That's the brightest I think I've ever seen you.
You're beaming.
So, just a week to go until a real job, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. How's your head?
Oh. The last 2 days I've been like sleeping all day.
Yeah. That could just be recovery from all the heroin. Oh.
Like, at the very least, go to the 2-shot.
Well, we will, but right now we're just setting up.
Not to get too dark, but I had a friend who just had some trouble with that.
He can't see it. Oh yeah, he can see it. He should be able to.
He'll see it once it hits the stream.
Fiona, tomorrow night we're gonna watch Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Your sound is terrible on my end.
It's terrible on my end too.
Yeah, but I'm currently reaching for my.
No, like
Labs.
your Vader net, man. It's just popping and digital compression like crazy.
Anyway, I hope your mom's doing all right.
Yep, she is. Thank you very much.
Good. So
I want to give something away.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Done.
I'll take it.
I'll take it, dude. I'll take it.
Oh, it's
I want to give one of these away.
Dude,
I want to give one away on my channel and this.
I'll keep it, man. I'll take it. You can give it away to me right now.
Do you even know what it is?
It's Khaleesi. Hello. It's the mother of dragons. And it's a moleskin.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a moleskin.
It's a notebook.
Yeah.
It's the bestest notebook on earth. And the fact that it has both the dragon and the mother of dragons on the front makes me a little bit emotionally erect.
I grabbed a couple.
Does that improve my audio, boys?
Like a great deal.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sweet.
Super better.
Sweet.
Super mo better.
Yeah, so I don't know what is the deal with giveaways and stuff.
Well, we can talk about that, and I don't know. Maybe we give it away to a subscriber or something.
Yeah, I think so because this is I always have one of these whenever I play D&D. Is like some kind of journal, either as a DM or as a player. And
This is what I'm using.
Funny. Yeah.
Like this is mine right here.
Right on.
And it even has a special tab right here that says Quantum Keep on it. And because the first 30 pages of this book are a D&D campaign that I was playing.
I think there's tabs in these
here.
too.
Right? But yeah, and in the middle I've got all my goodies from Quantum Keep.
Yeah,
which I think is awesome. Yeah.
But,
stickers are great.
Once we get a fan in here. I don't know. I love those things. I think they're awesome for D&D. So.
I do too. I absolutely do too. So I'm trying to pour a beer here very, very slowly.
I can't drink yet.
Before we settle in.
We should explain to the people why I'm an amorphous voice from the.
Well, tonight Luke will be playing the character of a gelatinous cube.
Yeah. I had a family issue that I had to deal with. My mom was sick. We had to take her into the hospital. Luckily, she's home and everything is good. But there was no time and really no priority to set up video and get everything for the show. So we are not going to be at the Keep this week.
This is not supposed to continue to creep out the top of the glass. Look at how effervescent this beer is.
But hey, Luke's mom's okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
She got a prescription for some wildly powerful medicine, and if Cthulhu willing, she'll be fine.
Cthulhu willing. No, yeah, that's always terrible when your day just going along and then something
Derail.
jumps up like that where it's not. You feel helpless and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
no, it's good.
Well,
good to hear
I
things
was
working.
out in the new building today, and the room that I broadcasted in last week. Got all of the stuff out of that room and started ripping down walls. So making some progress on that today.
You should post some pics as you go along.
Yeah. I might actually tomorrow or the next day, depending. I might actually just set up the camera in there and do a little stream to Twitch, and who knows?
Say what? Streamlabs would like to sponsor you? What? I don't know what that means. I'll look into that. So a couple of things. Obviously tonight there will be no official campaign episode tonight due to the aforementioned Luke fiasco of life. But his mom's okay, so it's cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry to the viewers.
That's totally cool.
But it's a priority thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, next Monday in Canada is a holiday.
Yes.
And our ever faithful and benevolent GM will actually be out of the province and not able to connect. So that makes next week's episode a little tricky to accomplish. We will therefore be running probably Munchkin night. I think if Luke is amenable to that.
Yeah, I'm down for Munchkin whenever, dude. Like, I'll play Munchkin every night this week.
Yeah, so, and actually we can do that for sure a couple of times. Hey, Buzz It, cheers. Nice to see you back.
I'm actually going to be seeing Buzz It in BC.
Awesome.
You can't say Buzz It without immediately following it with Blizzardin.
Buzz It, Blizzard.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
The story behind that is so...
Yeah, so...
the boo burden makes it poetry, man.
That's what we hear, Buzz It. That's what we hear.
She is Buzz It.
But hang out for a few and catch a little of the story time. So,
yeah.
My thinking was for tonight, I mean, tonight might be a great time just because we've got a little downtime in the cycle here. Let's talk a little about sort of the campaign so far, some of the highlight moments and lowlight moments of the campaign so far. We're not digging for future information.
Greg, you should put a picture of me on the screen.
I could just hang an effigy of you off the microphone.
Perfect.
Floating head.
There's your beard. There's Luke's beard. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk into this thing. I don't want to talk.
I don't know why you want to touch it.
Well, that's what she said.
So far for me, guys, the I would have to say the number one highlight is getting dice in the air.
Most certainly.
Been far too long for me. It felt good, and to drop back into Dragonlance was really cool.
So a couple of things that have sort of struck me so far. Like my introduction to RPGs was D&D 3.5. Now, really, we were playing D&D 3.5 AD&D campaign in sort of 5 rules, but it was really more of a homebrew game. That shut up. Oh yeah, thank you very much. The Lance, who you've seen in the chat for a few episodes. He house ruled the game really well because we had 5 players. It was a big table. Like we were playing 7-hour sessions, 8-hour sessions. And it was like once a month we'd get together. So we would get together and we'd play these big things. And the RP side of it, like, none of us, we're not actors, we're not voice actors, we're just players. So we had people at the table were like looking at their card and, I would like to cast Ray of Light and this, and I think that's a 5. And then they, like, and then there were, I was a little more, kind of a combination of reading from the sheet and, and then trying to put some character into it. And then we had players who thought they were there. Right. And so this has been an interesting twist for me because, it's sort of, Chris is making me think more than Lance did, I think. And the situations we've been in are a little more thinky for me. So it's kind of pushing me as a player to do better, which I really like.
Yay.
But I really liked the experience of Delta Green. Because my only can you bring up your audio just a little bit, Chris?
Yep.
Luke's really hot compared to you, but I don't want to bump it.
I just
better.
clip on my end if I go a little too.
It doesn't sound too bad here. So yeah, like Delta Green for me was Delta Green for me was really cool because I'd never really gotten. I mean, I knew about these other systems. I know about these other systems. I know there are sci-fi and future post-apocalyptic and whatever, but I've never played them. So to me, that was very, very interesting to try to settle in a role-playing game in that world
where you're not an elf.
Yeah, or a dwarf with an axe. Like it's all of a sudden it literally becomes character acting because you really do have to put yourself, like, the fantasy stuff is easy because it's so completely outside the scope of things, right? But the idea of that Delta Green universe, and what struck me was that not that it was like, I mean, it wasn't like, I'm not terrified of the Elder Gods personally.
I am.
But there's some tension there that I didn't expect. There was some tension in that cabin that I didn't expect. And I found that interesting because that tension came totally out of my head. Not that Chris wasn't doing a good job of setting that stage for us, but it was tense. I was
It is
physically
it was better. Yeah, it's better than just a straight up dungeon runner with axe in hand. Like, that can be fun, but
well, this is what I think makes the difference. In a dungeon runner, axe in hand, you pretty much, those are scary mobs, but you can attack anything.
You swing until you bleed out.
You can oh man, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen, this monolithic dragon, whatever. But what do? I try to get a 20 on it. In Delta Green, you're just, oh my god, that thing's gonna eat my face. And you are afraid of things. You're like, guns. We need bigger guns, to quote Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, we need to run over it with a car and then get away as quick as we can.
We need to roll it off the hood.
Oh, the coolest thing I think so far has been one of the most frustrating things too, is when you guys decided nope, and you just, like, you're walking away, nope, right? And you ended up running the damn thing over and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys need to resolve this thing. But no, they're actually fearing for their characters' lives and they're ready to leave. So I thought that was probably one of the coolest things, and it totally put me back into Call of Cthulhu mode.
That's awesome,
right? So
that's awesome.
Because, like, you guys could have just driven away, and then we'd be like, all right, so.
Well, I mean, I don't think we would have just driven away and not resolved it. But I think I think the resolution would have come about in a very different way. Like, we would have regrouped, an axe-wielding
maniac,
we would have gone and regrouped.
I'll just take it down and whittle. Like, let's just kill it until total party kill. That's the thing that's missing from fantasy D&D games, is stuff like that. And this is something that I try to put into the game, but it's very difficult.
Excuse me.
There's very little fear for your life in a Dungeons and Dragons game, because you know, everybody's just so keyed to think, well, oh, here's an encounter. It's clearly here for me to attack, so I better go do it. And I've had many parties not run away from things, and it's been all I could do to not TPK them, you know?
I can imagine.
But it's no fun if you're always running away from things either.
Well, no, agreed. And like I said, I think, you know, in that moment in Delta Green, like, we saw it as we're not equipped. We're not equipped psychologically for what's about to happen. And I think running away in a lot of ways was kind of like us saying, we don't want to be here. It's not just
no rational person does.
Yeah, it's not just we turned a corner in this tunnel or in this dungeon, and there's a giant spider. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we better deal with the spider. There's no notion.
This is clearly below my pay grade. I'm going home.
Yeah, like there's no moment in a D&D environment where you don't go, I need to get the chest of gold. I need to get to the loot. Right?
I need to turn these
Delta Green doesn't have loot.
No, and that's the thing.
There's no loot concept.
Is bad. Look what your first loot did to you.
Yeah, Luke.
You know, loot and spell rewards and things like that, and knowledge and all that sort of stuff just beats away at your sanity in this game.
Yeah,
and there's a trope for Call of Cthulhu. What this meme is like, the older or the longer your character's been playing probably has a high run skill. Seriously, because you know, I was playing with one fellow, one of my favorite people to game with. I've been gaming with him since the 90s. Well, Buzzet knows him, and I remember we were playing Call of Cthulhu once, and he was still because he's damn curious, because it's a fun game. You want to see this stuff, but he was really intent on studying this weird grimoire that he'd found. And he wanted to unlock its mysteries and understand it. And he learned how to cast this kind of weak-ass kind of weird spell ritual out of it. And it just started destroying his mind. And these are the rewards you get in the game. They don't work for you. Everything is bad. Everything. Like, even in the character creation, certain things like bonds and stuff like that. When things go to hell, your bonds, like your family life, even in the game, goes to hell if you have one. It's super fun. It's totally departure.
In particular, I love and take this for what it's worth at face value. I love the integration of the Delta Green character sheets and stuff in the Dragonlance universe.
Yeah.
And I think, if anything, we should be, as players, I think need to more frequently go back to those sheets. And more frequently, our motivation needs to come. Like, I caught myself last game. It was like, or last episode, whatever we call it.
Yeah.
I found myself looking at the D&D sheet going like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What do I have to roll? What do I have? What damage do I get? And I should have been thinking more in terms of like that Delta Green sheet right here. It has a hell of a lot of stuff on it that I should really be looking at. You know, like I'm looking at my military science stuff. I've got abilities in alertness and dodge that I didn't take advantage of.
It's funny, those things that wouldn't, like military tactics or whatever, would have zero place in Tasselhoff's life.
Right.
So if Tasselhoff were to start barking orders, tactical orders, and not just barking orders, but barking orders that make sense.
Yeah, it would
be like, what's going on with you, little Kender buddy?
Right, but at the same time, using that ability to help mobilize a group and move a group in an intelligent way would a couple of times probably provided a better initial situation because
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
instead of it
exactly. I mean,
becoming a happenstance thing. I mean, you know, meeting in the road that way, we were all kind of like, oh, I'm hiding in the bushes. Like, there was no intelligence saying, I'm going to flank, I'm going to move, you know, ahead so that I can get behind. Like, there was no, it just wasn't in my thinking patterns because I was playing this D&D world. I will encounter somebody who tries to hurt me, and then I must bleed them out before they do it to me.
I see that too, Greg, and I've been trying to focus on that too. Like, my
with the astronomy rolls and stuff.
With the astronomy rules and like to stay true to Flint's character, when those fish dudes showed up, he would be the one at the front hacking and slashing, but to like be that character guarding against the fragility of life, wanting to take care of the party, while that fits into Flint, but it like I was conscious of the difference of it.
Yeah, and that really wasn't who you were. Like, and that was sort of one of those things. Like, I realized that jumping in, there are going to be tendencies, but you know, I went back. I've been watching Quantum Leap again, and watching Beckett as he steps into these different people, and there is a very distinct difference in those people. People recognize that something has changed. The mannerism. How much of him
had to try to fit in a bit to avoid, right?
Like, there are certain things that he picks up and goes, oh, well, that's not me, that's this person. But most of the time, it's still Sam, right? It's still Beckett doing what Beckett does, trying to fit into that character. And so dropping into Dragonlance, like, we're like, how do you drop into that? So then I think that's why, in a way, we're going back to traditional D&D roles, right? And I'm a rogue thief type, so I know I'm going to be like this, rather than saying, oh, I'm Hank, and Hank does not know what the fuck just happened.
We were playing more meta.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I'm going to try and keep a little more eye on as we continue through this, because I do think we have to, you know, there's some rationale for playing it as Hank, no matter where I am, and the limitations are going to come from who we inhabit along the way. And so
Greg, you know what I'm really stoked to do?
What's that? There's our first subscriber. Sweet.
Oh, nice.
So that is part of that has been part of the deal. We are now an affiliate on Twitch, so that means folks can sub to us. And if you've got a Twitch Prime account and you have not used your monthly free Twitch Prime subscription, we'd be thrilled if you would chuck it our way. And if you want to cheer and throw bits, Luke will dance.
And then you get to do this.
Sorry, earthquake over here.
Yeah. What do you get to do? That's right. And then once you're a subscriber, you get access to the subscriber emotes, and you can tip a beer with us.
Yep.
You like those emotes, Luke?
I do. I think they're really cute.
For an extra $5, you get a stein of beer.
I know. I'm stoked.
For an extra $20, you get a mug. No, you get a mug, and then you get a beer stein. If you rock and roll on the tier 3 sub. But I don't expect anybody to do that. We're not that.
And if you roll a natural 20 at the Stormcrow Tavern, you get Buzzard Boburden's critical hit shot glass.
Oh, that is so awesome.
He forgot it in my car, so it is now mine.
You guys were doing shots in your car?
Yeah.
Was that before or after the accident?
Shut up! You know what I'm talking about.
Shut up, guys.
You ever been to Vancouver, Stormcrow Tavern?
I haven't, but I don't go to Vancouver ever. So.
You got it. Well, if you're ever down there.
So, Lee, you can absolutely talk to our benevolent GM about that. And
hey, hang on a second.
It's about to get
Uh-oh,
real.
shit's getting real. He took his lav off. That's not good. He's got the book right there.
Yeah.
I
Sorry, this is a bit of a spoiler, but I'm a step ahead of you there, Lee.
I can tell you already I'm going to be in love with that.
Legend of the Five Rings.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Amazing.
man.
Probably one of the best games settings and card games ever made.
Do I get to jump into some place and order omarisu?
I don't even know what that is, but sure.
I love omarisu.
What is that?
Fried rice and eggs. It's like a nice wet omelet on top of a pile of hot steamed rice or fried rice.
It's
What's got
disgusting.
a bibimbap or something?
That's a
egg
Korean thing.
Oh, I love
Bibimbap is Korean. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I'm all about the kimchi.
Yeah, I unfortunately can eat kimchi. Man, can I eat
Unfortunately.
kimchi. Well, the last time I had a lot of kimchi, it was after somebody tricked me into having more soju than I expected. Soju is Korean rice wine, so a little different than sake.
It's a little filthier.
It's actually cleaner to drink. It doesn't have as much rice flavor. It's actually a nicer drink, I think. But the problem is that the person I was drinking it with kept doing shots with me. But what I didn't know was that every time we'd do a shot, he'd put down an empty glass and slide his full one in front of me. And then we'd pour another one, and he'd slip an empty one in, and I'd get his full one. And so we did that about 7 or 8 times. And then when I got home, I threw up a lot of kimchi.
Oh, man.
And that is, you want to talk about something that's terrifying when you're really hammered. When you're really hammered, that stuff is really bright red. I'm like, oh, I'm dying. No, just kimchi. So anyway, yeah, that was sort of my initial observation about Delta Green, is that it was way spookier than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
in a
it
really
boils down to
great
that
way.
mortality.
In a really
It boils
great
down to
way.
that.
So now, being that that's the case, and I know that you've got other systems planned, are any of the other systems that you've got planned for this crazy journey of ours based in that sanity world, or is that something you're going to have to retrofit as we go?
We're going from Delta Green to whatever, to maybe to whatever, and then back to Delta Green
Right.
to kind of catch up. It'll give you an opportunity to update your character sheets because you've been ticking.
Yeah,
Your
well,
skills
haven't
and
I mean, I've failed at several things many times. But,
It might not be where you think in Delta Green or Cthulhu.
yeah.
So, because they're pretty much interchangeable as far as I'm concerned.
And knowing neither of them other than what we've done, right? I'm more curious, like, in terms of, for the spoiler, for example, that you showed earlier. If we go there, are you continuing to wrap the sanity mechanic into that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep the sanity thing.
So
It's gonna get to a point where you guys are sort of adapted to things because it's, oh my gosh, this is the 3rd time we've seen ghosts. I think we've kind of dealt with this, knowing we are traveling from world to world.
Oh, for sure. There will have to be a
but
point
there's
at
going
which,
to be
yeah.
things. There's going to be stuff, and if you've noticed, there's been like the Cthulhu mythos injected into Dagonlance here.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, what was that? That was Maddie's.
Is the constellations dropping out of the sky, was that an add-in from you?
That's all in the book.
Right
and
in
that-
the
Is it really?
And
Yeah.
it is so perfect because the big thing with Cthulhu is the stars are right. And when those stars are right, Cthulhu will rise again and everything goes to hell, whatever happens. So you might try noticing these star themes as we go through.
Yeah.
So that's because...
As soon as you dropped into Dragonlance, I knew that the star thing was going to be a deal, and dragon is probably going to turn out to be an elder god, and
Yeah, it just started kind of clicking for you, didn't it?
yeah.
Okay, we now officially need to get away from systems. He knows.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. The next one you both will know.
Love it.
There's absolutely no way you will not both. You'll probably lose your shit. I hope you guys love the next one. So you guys are coming close to the end of this one. You have like one or two more things to do, and I again, as a DM, this is my fault. I always misjudge how long things take, because even just describing and talking about things in the, like, little bit of interaction here and there, suddenly you've eaten up an hour. Right?
Yeah, and one of the things that actually gets me is that I feel like we're moving way too slow for you.
Well, and I'm trying to make it so we're not just, all right, you guys traveled and some stuff happened. Here's what it is. But I have been condensing.
Yeah, I can kind of tell, but not in a negative way. But I know that
eaten through that much of the book.
Yeah, like we're taking our sweet time, I think, in a way.
Well, it's speeding up every time I get a look at it. Like the next thing is like a few chapters in the book, and I'm going to seriously just kind of go, okay, this happens, but give you an opportunity to kind of interact if you need it. So
right.
That's the thing. You don't want to railroad too much and just choo-choo.
Well, no, of course. But I think, too, part of it, too, is I'm a slow, methodical plotter when I play. I'm positive I'm the guy at the table where everybody's going, oh, just do something already. Right? But at the same time, it's like, this is, hopefully, for the people watching, I would rather see them see the gears turning. Right? I think the gears turning is a valuable contribution to the arc of this series that we're doing. I think over the longer term, even after this campaign ends, I think we have to find a way to do it again or do another. Maybe it won't be Quantum Keep, but maybe we'll dive back in and do a few Delta Green campaigns. Or do a few Five Rings campaigns, and sort of over the longer term, as long as you want to GM with us, we're glad to have you. But we also are more than happy to find some other folks to GM and have you play with us.
It's fun playing,
right? So both sides, like I love the role of the DM as GM as a storyteller, but I'm not very good at it. Not on the spot.
Just takes a couple tries.
Oh, I'm sure.
And a bit of familiarity with the content.
Yeah, content in the system.
You would be surprised what you can swing if you're comfortable with what you're talking about. So, like Dragonlance, I used to have a vast, extensive, like loser level knowledge of it. And
shut up, Luke.
Oh,
you're not
man,
supposed to go.
like,
yeah.
No, Fiona, we just had a little bit of liveliness here, but Mom got up. We had a little check on her, and she's doing much better.
Good.
And then Fiona said, yeah, not Indiana Jones, but we're going to watch Reign of Fire. So I have a question for you, Chris. I know that a thing came up, I think it was on the second session, where I asked you if you were going to, we were going to jump out of something. Like if we were to jump out of Dragonlance into the next thing and then into the next thing and then jump back into where we left off in Dragonlance?
To kind of return to maybe help out again, depending on how well this goes. Well, I mean, if you die, then there's nothing to go back to.
Right, but like to kind of keep a less linear arc.
I kind of see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think we're done once we get out of this.
Like okay. I was thinking about that too, because I was thinking about it more in terms of the show, because in the back of my head I was really sort of anchoring to the show, and how the show
Yeah.
behaved. And there were times in the show where Sam would jump back to the same place. In fact, there were several episodes where Sam not only jumped back to the same place, but literally the same moment, but as another person. So
See, I don't remember that.
So first season, yeah, foot fetish would be cool too. I agree. And if we can ASMR some foot fetish, we're laughing. Yeah, exactly.
Someone slurps some
Yeah,
noodles.
first season, Sam jumped into an Italian guy, wanted to marry the daughter of. It was kind of a Romeo and Juliet thing. The competing Dawn, his daughter, and they finally get caught by this guy making out, but I love her and all of that crap, and it sort of resolves, but not completely. And Sam jumps out, and in the next episode, he jumps in as the Dawn in the same room, but now he's looking at who was him on the floor with the girl, but he's the father. And so, right? So there's this...
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, there's just there's some really interesting sort of...
Quantum creep.
Yeah, he's a quantum creep, all right.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening. I don't think the world would pause when we jumped out. Like, I think it's like every step we take, we're setting up the people we're inhabiting for whatever's happening next when we leave.
Yeah, exactly. And you're building toward a goal, kind of, that things are being revealed. They're going to be revealed slowly. But things are going to not faze you as much eventually.
That's cool.
Yeah, well,
at
some point we're going to get used to bouncing. And it's not going to be... Like, I think that's part of the problem, is that we're not quite handling the where the fuck am I part of that.
But you can also think about it. You're kind
could.
of freaked out. Like, if you were to start just going, where the fuck are we the whole time, it would just be like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly we have to just sort of ride and see what's happening. But
well, that's when Luke's first thing was, hey man,
you know, been a while.
was perfect. It was kind of like,
yeah, 5 years.
Maybe if you guys failed some serious sanity or something.
I seem to recall I was the one sitting in the middle of the road rocking and sobbing.
That's right. So you would, but now you were lucky because you were the one who was alone, and I went along the line of the cartoon for how things opened up. If you watch the cartoon,
I have
in
not.
The book, they're all together.
Yeah, I won't be watching that until this is all done. Once we're out of there, I will. It's on my list.
You should read the books too. It's like an afternoon, and they're done. Really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and I do intend to read those. I do intend to read those. So.
They're super good. They're
so
how many words a minute can you read, Chris? Jesus, an afternoon.
What's that?
How many words a minute do you read? Jesus.
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, really, they're small pages.
Since he broke his brain, he actually can use his eyes independently. He just scans both pages top to bottom.
They're segmented now. They're just
yeah. He reads top to bottom both pages at the same time. So were the Doodle guys or Dogans or Dagans or
like they were D&D
or whatever?
Kuatoa.
So they were a genuine character. These dudes who turned to stone.
Oh, the Draconians.
Yeah, sorry, the Draconians, or was that a
part
Delta
of the book.
thing?
They're part
really?
of the book.
Oh,
yeah,
see those work so well in the context of Delta Green too.
Well, I like it because they freak the shit out of the people that you guys are hanging with who are used to seeing everything, and this is something they haven't seen. It's like they had to roll sanity to see that.
Did they?
Riverwind, well, pretty much, according to the narrative, if you were to look at it from that lens, Riverwind, when he first sees the Draconians, he realizes he's seen these before, and he freaks out. He's standing there just frozen while they're almost killing his girlfriend there. You know, he fails his sanity check totally, right? Tanis is kind of losing it. Sturm almost lost his knightly stoic cool and got the shit beat out of him. Karaman's just like, fuck, I'm hungry, and just starts wading in and killing things. Because just like Delta Green, like those bonds and other things kind of protect you and motivate you to get through this stuff. Karaman's bond, if you were to look at, is protect his brother at all costs. it doesn't matter if the world's gone crazy and upside down around him. If his brother's there, he needs to be there to fucking smash things that are trying to get to him. And that's what he does. So it was kind of a neat encounter because here are these draconians that the Dragonlance characters were essentially failing sanity checks to see. When they're just shrugging off goblins, like, oh yeah, goblins, we see those assholes all the time.
Yeah.
But you guys are like, oh my god.
Yeah. They're monsters. Yeah. That's an interesting...
I would say I planned it
that
that way, but no.
It just worked out.
Things are worth. That's the fun thing about this game. You can plan so much, and sometimes it'll go to the shitter, but sometimes you will find just the coolest little things that connect and make it work and link, and then you go, wow, I'm not a bad GM, I guess.
No, man, you've been treating us well.
So in your mind, then, what makes a really solid playable RPG?
I think it's honestly if the players are into it. The GM can't get help but swept up into it, and then maybe the converse is true. Like, as if the GM is totally passionate about it, then everybody else can't help but get swept up into it. So it's got to be something that, either like a great setting that everybody loves, you know, or like I say, it's the enthusiasm. The enthusiasm carries. If you're playing with a GM and they're just like, okay, so here's some stuff. Yeah, all right, it's dead. You know, it's no fun.
Yeah.
But if you have players that are just like, all right, I guess I rolled a hit, you know, it's not as fun either. I mean, when you get people who are trying out new crazy things, like Lee Valley here, Lee honestly lives to find interesting mechanical synergy with his player. And I got into a big argument about it once because he came up with something that would just nuke everyone.
That's a statement that needs more explanation.
Well, he came up with these really cool combos and stuff like that, and I was like, I just can't see it happening because everybody else is just a little, like, they got their characters and their concepts just aren't as crazy powerful as what you're suggesting here. And then everything just kind of went nuts in this latest campaign I'm playing with him and some other people. And I just remember telling Lee, I was like, Lee, break the game. Because we have some characters that have some super powerful stuff. So, of course, Lee's now managed to find this skirmisher character he's made that just in and out of combat all over the place, just dealing out massive damage. Part of you is like, here's this person, like, destroying my favorite monsters and crap. But the other part of you is just, like, slow clapping. Like, wow.
He's the carry.
Yeah, so it's fun, and I mean, there's some pretty powerful people in the rest of the group too. Some of them have yet to realize it, some of their stuff, and they're getting into it. I mean, we're only like 6 sessions in or something like that, and things keep getting knocked aside. So, but I mean, you get into it, and you can't help but having a ton of fun, and then it doesn't matter what you're playing, really, I guess.
Yeah, dude, like the time that we were fighting the fish people, and
the Murlocs.
I crit a dude and then action surged into another crit. I almost shit my entire house out.
That's amazing.
So how did you feel about the lights being the third character in the room?
Well, I came up with my own red alert light.
What happened?
That's the roll initiative light.
No, that's the Men in Black forget everything you know light.
That's right. If you see this.
If you see that, hold tight. Close your eyes. You're about to jump.
Yeah. No, the lights were hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to be very, very careful. I found some other effects with them, and I just don't want to. I don't want to cause anybody potential mental damage, including myself. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to do that. There, that's better. Here, I'll go baby blue or green or something.
This is like
really
early
no
2000s Pokemon.
Gotta catch
knocking kids out left and right.
I'll take it. It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah. Anyway, so have you only ever played 3.5?
Oh yeah, no. I've played one. I mean, I've played. You know, we've probably done 30, 40 sessions, but it's all been in one. I didn't play when I was a kid. I was a latchkey kid in a small town, and the cool kids rode their BMX bikes around town. Right? And nobody played D&D. Nobody was into fantasy. Nobody, like, Magic wasn't out yet. Pokemon wasn't out yet. So this whole concept of role play didn't exist outside of, the neighbor's bedroom. Right?
And
I never understood it. I always went to their house, and they always had a big bowl at the front door. Like, it was weird.
And I came in a little bit after D&D's initial surge. Like, when I was a kid, we played Mech Warrior a lot. We eventually got into a little bit of D&D, but as I wanted to continue playing RPs, the people that I was hanging out with were
wanting to get laid.
Play with. Yeah.
Yeah, I ignored it for a while. I never admitted it until kind of recently, actually. Yeah, because there was a massive stigma around it about D&D, and I mean, people like, it's so cool now, and I'll never agree that it's cool. Sorry.
The fact that it's not cool. Yeah.
It's totally hipster. I played D&D before it was cool.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't pretend to. I mean, because my ideas are cool or different, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, I'm not going to judge anybody who plays it. I'm not going to think they deserve a swirly or whatever.
I appreciate it for being the anchor for the new wave of gaming. I think it's I love that. I love that Stranger Things embraced it, and it was timely. It made sense, right, for the monsters of
Demogorgon.
Yeah.
Well, even like RPing is even getting, like, I just bought a board game for the family called Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
And it is an RP board game.
Yeah, you have to. So you gotta bluff people.
Yeah, like, you can't play Sheriff of Nottingham without a ridiculous colloquial accent. Oh, Sheriff of Nottingham here. Shiny things.
Yeah. And then have you downloaded the phone app for it? That just basically it's just a themed timer.
Oh, that's kind of whack.
Cool.
It's cool, actually. It just gives some sounds and it does the timing.
Oh, like it's in support of the desktop.
Easy to keep score.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's just an accessory.
That's
because
cool.
because my kid is 6, we do a house rule, where we don't tally up the products, like we don't the goods at the end. We just sort of, if you get it through, you get coins. If you don't, you have to pay. Sort of house ruled it so it's easier. But
yeah. No, it's always fun, like when you have little kids and stuff, to just fudge the game and make it work for you.
Yes,
it is really, really fun to watch a 6-year-old kid just bullshit her mother into a tizzy over royal apples. It's really really awesome.
We're double man. Come on.
See, I'm the asshole. When I play with the boys, we play Mashikoro a lot.
Oh yeah,
and Ben and Max and I play, the three of us, and it's we get playing that game, and all I am there to do is teach them how the fucking world works. It's like, no, I'm gonna rape you with my minds.
My wife has put a ban on Monopoly.
Oh, so have I. Like,
because I can't play Monopoly with my child.
There are only 2 games from my youth, 3 games from my youth on the wall of games
Risk,
over here.
and what?
Well, I mean, I'm just looking over at my wall here. I've got about 40 boxes. There are 3 games from my childhood on that list, on that stack. Not including Uno, because Uno is just a card game.
Cool.
Scrabble, because that's just for smarts. Yahtzee, because that's for adding.
It's fun.
It's just good math. It's time passer. And Rysk. Rysk is the only other game from my youth that I'll let the kids play, because Monopoly is stupid. It's a vapid game. Snakes and ladders, vapid game. And I don't
like
care.
The roll and move.
Yeah, like whether snakes and ladders become chutes and ladders for cars or something else for some other, it's still crap. Candyland, crap. Total crap.
I will tell you, I got my 6-year-old daughter into board gaming because of Candyland.
We had a Dora the Explorer branded Candyland, and
when
we played Candyland twice, and then Daddy bought Sushi Go.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Love Sushi
Go. And we didn't want to play Candyland anymore because Candyland was boring.
When Max turned 6, we brought home Carcassonne.
Yeah,
and he started with Carcassonne, and we house ruled Carcassonne. No farmers, right? And all cities were 2 points, and that was all it took to make it sort of approachable enough for a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
right.
Kids of Carcassonne is really good.
And we play the grown-up version. And once he had his head wrapped around that, then we went and picked up Catan, grown-up Catan.
Kids of Catan is
right, and we never even house ruled that one. We just, this is how it's played. He won his first game of Carcassonne. He's always placed in Catan. Ticket to Ride, he's not been so successful.
Your kid ranched me in Ticket one night.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Ticket to Ride is
the Trans-Siberian Pass.
Yeah, it was Ben that did it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ton Shoveler got you.
I could have stabbed him in the leg for 3.
I know, but you didn't, and as a result, he built the railway you needed.
You know what's fun for kids? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sushi Go, I've got usually like 2 or 3 kids trying to play that with me, and they're really young, and it takes forever trying to explain it all out to them. So what we do is we play Sushi Go blind, where you just deal out the cards and then you pass them around and you pick one randomly, and you just leave them you leave them all face down, you pass them, you pick one blind, and then flip it over, and so you get to see what you're collecting along the way. And it's super quick, it's super fun, and then it's zero skill.
How do you teach them life lessons, but that way?
Yeah, the point of drafting games is to absolutely crush the person to your left.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Ben, I see you've got some nigiri there, so I'm keeping it.
Excuse me.
Oh, you want this wasabi? I'm keeping it. Yeah. Like,
hey, Chris, have you ever played a game called Love Letter?
Yep.
Oh,
Love Letter is such an awesome game for the kid.
It is, too, because it's basic. You draw and you just choose one to play, and after a while, there are certain cards you have to play.
Yeah. It encourages card counting and deception,
which is a life skill. Card counting is a life skill.
Yeah.
Another good one in that vein is Citadels.
Yeah.
Similar with roll cards.
Have you played Dominion?
Yeah.
What do you think of Dominion? I have a copy of it that I haven't played yet.
I liked it a lot, and I overplayed it. I could probably play it with people other than my brothers-in-law, because it was just all it boils down to is who gets the combo first and then win. And it was crazy. So and they would only want to play like certain things so you could have the combos, and then you're playing like 11 cards and drawing. It's just, come on, forget it. That's why I like some of the suggested
variations
and stuff. The packets or packages of cards that you can use that are in the rules or suggested on the internet, I guess. Because it's kind of fun to make a crazy combo work, but when it's too easy, and it always happens, it just, all right, 4 hours later and we got 3 people playing and it's my turn. So
yeah. Like I got.
Have either of you guys ever played Coup?
I
have
really,
it, but I've never played it.
I really want to play that game.
I so want to play Coup.
Oh no! I got One Night Revolution by the same people.
It may be in the same vein.
Yeah, it's by the same publishers, and
I want to play
Is that a
Coup, and I
social
want to play
deduction
Code
game?
Games.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
Codenames too. I haven't played that one yet either.
Codenames looks cool, but I think you have to have the right group of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of.
Right, like that's another
I think
one
it would be
that's,
best
that you
with
need
6,
that.
7
Yeah,
people
you
or
need a good sized group, I think, to make Codenames work well. Like you couldn't play it in a team of 4.
One
Pandemic is still one of my favorites. Love
that's
Pandemic.
amazing.
Love
Cthulhu
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
You know
is
what?
one of the best Cthulhu skinned games I've ever played.
I've got an incredibly impressionable little guy, and we had trouble playing Pandemic with him because he got spooked by the black virus.
It's just too scary.
Because everybody called it the zombie virus, right?
Yeah.
And so it just freaked him out.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't play Cthulhu.
Right.
Reign of Cthulhu
Yeah.
with a kid.
So, but we have Don't Wake Cthulhu or Wake Up Cthulhu.
Yeah, but that's kind of a kid art one, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's you play a bunch of cultists trying to summon him. But that one doesn't bother him so much.
If you
strangely.
like Pandemic and you want to play something that isn't freaky, you should get Forbidden Desert or Forbidden Island.
Have them both. He loves
They're
them
exactly
both.
the same.
Yeah, he loves
sort
them
of
both.
game.
Yeah, he adores them both.
then,
To me is a really cool cross. It's almost like a crossover between Ticket to Ride and Forbidden Island or something like that, where you've got a couple of those movement mechanics.
You get your
that
little cards. And...
Yeah, you've got some movement mechanics, but you've also got some set collection stuff, and yeah, I like them both.
All right, enough bullshit. Give me spoilers for the upcoming D&D sessions that we're playing.
So that'll be in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not
There's
next
no
week.
way both of you won't know exactly what you've just been dropped into, and you will have to figure it out as player. How your characters don't.
How we're gonna react.
Yeah.
Is the Delta Green universe a parallel universe, or is it our universe?
Is a parallel or a what?
Or is it our universe?
Well, it exists in the mind.
No, I mean in terms of game, is there meta in the game that's sort of relatable to our world, or
certainly. But I mean,
is there still
there's no
baseball? But it's
Dragonlance
not the
books.
Orioles. It's not the Baltimore Orioles. It's the Baltimore Swingers. You know what I mean? Like,
I can give you my perspective on this, because I actually thought of this, because I'm an astrophysicist. My character. This is the dimensions that you need the math to work for string theory.
Yeah, this might actually really excite as well as drive you mad. That now, was there ever proof of additional dimensions and multiverses and in multiple infinities?
Exactly.
And things like that. You're like, if you're not knocked out dreaming this or hallucinating it somehow, then yeah, all that stuff's true. Maybe you might be puzzling a way to figure this together.
That's sort of how I figured it out, right? Like, or how as my character, I sort of reasoned it out that this is one of the 11 dimensions they need to make the math work for the unified theory. And we've tapped into something with this blue stone with the sign on it that allows us access to these other dimensions.
But
That's
the
at least
Elder
how I
gods
took
are
it.
omnipotent, man.
Yeah, and you think they only threaten the Delta Green universe?
Yeah.
You know? Maybe they completely control certain worlds.
Maybe
Universes.
Maybe they just live in that multiverse, and we are the vermin that they're trying to exterminate.
Exactly.
We're
Who knows?
merely the cockroaches of the multiverse, and they're getting tired of setting out traps, and so now they're bringing in the big guns.
The stars are right.
They put a plastic bag over the multiverse, and now they're heating it up.
I will tell you, it is wonderful to cast and be able to pick my nose at the same time.
Is it?
It's never stopped you before.
That's been a horrifying reality for me. Just I watch everything we do just to double check.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if I ever do something like that, Greg would be like,
Hey, stop that.
yeah.
No, I'd let it go, and then I'd score him. Be like, oh, dude, 7-5. right?
Yeah.
3-5 from the Russian judge, upside down. I think that would be awesome. What else are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna sit here in front of a camera and be trolled for 5 hours? Like, that's what happens, right?
Yeah, well, dude, there's a non-zero chance that I would eat that. So I would hope that you'd be like,
yeah. If I find out that you're not only a death eater but a snot eater, I'm absolutely gonna clip it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna put it up, and I'm gonna make sure everybody knows that it happened.
publicly, I have never eaten a booger ever in my life. Privately, I just did.
I have moved all of the just to get this back to the Rysk side of the Rysky business. I have moved all of the Kentucky Bastard to the bottom shelf over the compressor hump in my fridge.
Good.
It will be behind the kegs and therefore not close enough that I could risk accidentally opening one.
Don't, whatever you do, have it. Whatever you do, don't have it touch the back of your fridge because I don't want them to get frozen.
They won't get frozen. It's insulated back there. It's fine.
It's
Okay.
12%. Is that enough to freeze, or?
At 22%, it only partially freezes. So yeah, it's cold enough. Yeah, but my fridge, that back doesn't get cold enough. But what was really terrifying, Luke, was once I did that, I found 3 howlers of Ho Ho Hold On Rudolph at the back.
Oh my god!
Which was the stout, the first big 10+%, 12% stout I made, sitting there aging. So I've got one for our benevolent GM to enjoy once he's been approved.
Yeah, that's
imbibe
the
again.
thing. Jeez.
Once he's been approved to imbibe again, I'll have one there
I'm
for
looking
him.
forward to the 3 of us sitting down.
These are all potential spoilers.
Old school.
Dwellers of the Forbidden City. I'm making notes
I was
so I
gonna
can
say,
do
he's
pre-research.
He's rapidly scribbling shit on his notepad.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Luke? Nothing. Just had an idea for the outbuilding. Just gotta write
dude.
it down.
Honestly, that's one thing that I is reading ahead.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, and that's the thing I've been struggling kind of with Dragonlance. Here is, I know what's happening.
yeah, but I mean, it's fun because there's like a little bit of, well, I hope it's fun. There's a little bit of mixing up and stuff, and there's another big mix-up coming up here, so...
I just
kind of like
just to
the
remind you,
point.
Luke, per the next mix-up coming up, I'm currently at 10 hit points. Just FYI.
I know, but
I
but
double
here's-
20'd Luke. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think right now
I know.
I'm at 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm at
20
20.
for you is a lot different than 10 for me.
Okay, but listen, dude. And this is what I'm trying to talk about, Chris. Is like, I know that we've done the Delta Green mix-up, so the next encounter that we do, we're gonna take no hit points. It's not gonna be a damage encounter. You know, and that's sort of what I'm struggling with. Is I understand. I'm just gonna set my axe down as soon as somebody starts talking. I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna set my axe down because I wanna go see the magic unicorn. You know what I mean? So it's cool to exist in a universe that I've wanted to exist in since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to play a hero for sure, but there is some detractor that like I don't want to play meta, but I'm forced to play meta because I know.
No, you're not. Hey, buzz it! Come on, death to Tasselhoff.
Dude, Buzz it,
Hasselhoff
Bo
gets-
Burden for the win.
Tasselhoff gets a bad rep.
I like Tasselhoff. It's
So
much
do
of
I. But I've always had a soft spot for those those plucky, the plucky comic relief. And Tasselhoff, even though I've only read a little bit, right? I've only looked at a little tiny bit. Tasselhoff strikes me as one of those characters that it just exists to inject a little bit of life.
Dude, you read things.
I have not read anything.
On your character sheet, you read things find their way into
his pockets.
Hasselhoff's bags.
Yeah,
you read that and you're like, oh, I'm with you, Buzzet Boburden. Tass is the worst. Flint Fireforge, on the other hand,
is a fucking simp who can't handle water. Oh my god, I'm gonna drown. Yeah, do the Dragonlance novels exist in Delta Green?
No.
So it's not a common universe.
There's no way. No, that's what I was trying to say. There's no way that anything we jump into.
Well, no, that would be too meta.
Some way for your character.
That
to
would
go,
be way
Whoa,
too
what?
meta. That would be too meta.
So everything else, though,
but player knowledge does not equal character knowledge. So even though we may recognize where we are,
there's
who
swords
we are
and sorcery fiction.
Yeah, who we are won't connect it.
Frank Frazetta probably still existed in Conan magazine art and stuff like that. But I mean, if we were to jump into Conan setting and system, then no, it wouldn't exist in the Delta Green world. Like you wouldn't.
Yeah,
you would
it's
see
too meta.
Cull instead,
it's too meta. It's too meta.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I get where you're going there. It's just it's difficult to be in the Delta Green universe and not connect it directly to ours. To be like, dude, let's go to a Starbucks and figure this out, right? Yeah. But there's no reason for a Starbucks to exist.
I think Delta Green is more, let's go to a Robin's Donut.
Probably true.
Does that even exist still?
Robin's?
Anywhere?
No, I think they're gone now.
No.
I think they're fully gone now.
They were there in the 90s, though.
They were.
They
were like sand stores, man.
Well, sorry, this is like late 90s, early 2000s.
There's a D6 degrees of separation joke in here somewhere. Yes, there is.
So, Chris, you've heard what Greg and I have thought of it, and where it, our input. I'd like to hear yours, without spoiling, because I don't actually want spoilers. But what are your thoughts on how it's being played? And
I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's funny because, like I said, don't worry too much about your meta knowledge, because that actually kind of helps in some respect. Because like I was trying to say earlier, in some of the other sessions, you feel some of that kind of instinct coming through.
Oh no,
right?
not Baskin Robbins.
When you said
donuts.
you didn't want to have anything to do with getting into the boat, that would have been a terrifying fear that would have just bubbled to the surface no matter who was playing Flint.
Okay.
No, but it wouldn't. But
when things are finding ways into his pouches, even though he's not really actively stealing them, that's such a innate part of Tasselhoff that it happens. And I just tell Greg sometimes stuff's in his pouch he doesn't even know, because he might have taken it while Hank was in this body, but Hank is unaware of it. Just like Tass is to some extent.
Right, but by the same token,
kind of instinct things.
Luke, did you feel the internal struggle about getting into the boat? Because your shell would be just like, yeah, let's get in the boat and get the fuck out of here. But Flint wouldn't.
But my meta, knowing that
Flint wouldn't, influenced your portrayal. So that's why I say, a part of me is I don't want to know anything about Tasselhoff, because I don't want to play Tasselhoff like Tasselhoff. I want to play him like Hank.
And I've been saying more things to Greg along the lines of, well, you kind of feel this or that or whatever, to try to show those bubbling to the surface.
Those Kender traits that I don't have.
The task Kender traits. Whereas, you kind of just roll with it, Luke, because you know what's going on. So it's fun. However you want those to manifest, as long as it's not something super ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck up your game.
No, that's fine. That's the thing. If you fuck up the game, everything goes to hell and you jump and you lose a point for this realm.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
That's the thing, because like I remember I was kind of saying you're building points toward an end game here.
Right.
And everyone you fuck up makes it harder, and everyone you...
Good work smashing the bitch with the front bumper, by the way.
What's that?
I said good work.
Oh, yeah.
Good work smashing the bitch with the front bumper.
That was crazy. Like, I was like, oh, no, they're going to drive away. And then you managed to do what I need you to do, is take that thing out, and then it was like, oh, they're not even going to look at the thing until they get somewhere, or not even look at it at all. I don't know. And then you went back to the trunk, and I was like, oh, good. It would have been weird driving around town without thinking. Anyway, but yeah, no, things worked.
Like I said, man, I've seen Repo Man. I'm not looking in there.
Yeah. I still think the standout move for me personally was the like quickly
reverse.
Throwing it into reverse. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
I think that speaks volumes about you.
Yeah.
It's what I mean. It freaks the shit out of you to see this horrible thing, but things can still be run over and thrown off cars. There are certain constants.
There are immutable constants of physics in the universe.
That's right.
If
it
it's
doesn't
on
matter
the
if you
roof,
killed it, as long as it's off the roof now and you can drive away.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
It's on the roof. I'm going to shoot
Greg,
through the windshield.
I don't think we're talking about the universe with this campaign. I think we're talking about the multiverse.
You can wear your astrophysicist hat all you want. As far as I'm concerned, as long as the coffee's hot and the gun is loaded, I'm good.
All right.
Like,
Well, one thing you'll notice in these in the worlds you jump into, it's not going to be, you're not going to jump into a world somewhere to like stop some robbers from terrorizing a local town.
No.
There's got to be something significant going on, some sort of evil versus good struggle going on a large scale.
Cool.
The deeper level.
What I'm really looking forward to is piecing together through these leaps this fucked up thing that you've got going in your freshly addled brain.
Apparently, it's freshly. Yeah, well, it is freshly addled. That's
just
true.
I'm glad I wrote it all down before this car accident. So. That's the thing, though. Like, you guys still haven't really figured out what that guy was that was talking to you as if he knew who you were.
No, but he's absolutely in the back of my brain now, and I can't get him out.
But
so he's a mystery.
But that goes back to the thing that I was saying. Like, I made the reference of calling, like, come on, Gandalf, but we both know he's Paladine.
Yeah.
Right? And like it's
and if you look at the D&D universe, the gods exist not just in their own, like, Dragonlance realm.
Yeah.
Some of them exist in other realms as well.
Yes.
So some of them might have other knowledge. Like, does he somehow exist in the Delta Green realm? Probably not, but he would know more about the multiverse than you would.
Or
maybe
maybe all gods exist in all realms, and we're trying to tie all of the realms together.
Who knows? Maybe that's what some of the good aligned gods are trying to do,
or minimize the incursions across those realms.
Or they've just been, putting their fingers into cracks in the dam of evil over.
Because maybe the evil is trying to take over all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them they might have a really good stronghold in, some not. So.
Well, and it's looking pretty good for evil in the Dragonlance world right now. So.
Yeah.
At this point.
I just realized
every jump you guys should learn a bit more of what's going on. So.
And I'm loving it, man. I don't know where you pulled it, but I'm loving it so far.
Well, it's hilarious because I had no idea. Well, my original idea was the Groundhog Day Tomb of Horrors, because you guys just wanted to keep one-shotting things.
Well, that was the original thought.
Let's just take one of the worst, hardest funhouse dungeons ever written, by the man himself, Gary Gygax, and let's just Groundhog Day, until like you guys finally get it, or we get bored of it. Like, it would have been hilarious because the first session would have, okay, we look around, we're seasoned adventurers around like 11th to 13th or something kind of level. You poke around and the trap kills you. Oh, and you wake up. You're in front of the Tomb of Horrors again.
Yeah.
Or you're in the hallway and you can't get out. Right?
I crawl up its butthole.
You just keep doing things until eventually, like, you guys are like, okay, well, we go down this hall, we take a left, we disarm that trap there, we skip that trap there, we go down this door, we go down this door, and then everything's new from that point on.
Yeah.
Right? So that would have been fun too, but when I threw that back at you guys came back at me with the quantum leap, it just went ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
That's cool.
I'm all over it.
And that's why the Delta Green works.
Because
it's a universe where weird things can happen.
Of course, as we jump, or when we've jumped, once we've jumped, we do get new character sheets sent out. Those character sheets are available to our patrons as soon as possible. Very often before the episode airs, or before we play it. At patreon.com/Rysk Brewing. That's where you can find us. And of course, we'll have to figure out a solution for our subscribers so that they can get those too. I don't know how that'll work. We'll have to figure that out. I wonder if Twitch might offer us a way to get to our subs. I don't know. But either way, I like the concept and where that's going. And I'm actually, as much as I'm enjoying just the hack and slash and sneaky dagger attacks with wads of damage, I'm also really, really keen to see where we go next. But it's funny because I don't want to jump because I know we're not done, and I don't know where we're going because I don't know the story. So
I don't want to jump because, dude, I'm Flint Fireforge.
Yeah, yeah.
There's two other characters in the entirety of the D&D ethos from the beginning that I want to play. There was 3. Flint was one of them.
Serious, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Ding ding, home run.
Yeah. The other one is fairly obvious. I think everybody wants to
buzz it, Bo Burden.
Yeah. I think everybody wants to swing Twinkle.
Yeah. Everybody either wants to fight him or swing it.
Yeah, and I'd love to fuck up Omen Drawn.
Who?
Yeah, so would I.
Omen Drawn. Jerry Holkin's character on Acquisitions Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
I would really like to play with those guys.
It might be funny.
They certainly have
universe.
They have their own brand. They have their own brand of D&D. There's no question.
Yeah, same with Critical Role and those guys.
Yeah. Okay, so Critical Role, I did go back and watch after the spoiler.
The death?
That was a little shocking. I was not expecting that, and it was brutal.
I loved it.
That was brutal. Like, and what really got me, and it was I was almost choked up. And it was funny because I was choked up not because of Molly. I was choked up because the guy playing Molly didn't get to play Molly. Like, I was choked up for the player, not the character. And he was choked, I think, for the character.
I just love the blood spit.
I was pleased to see the player come back in a new body the following, episode following.
Cadicious or
whatever it is. I remember he had a big placard on a bottle or something at his table that said, placeholder for character played by. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Like that, but
he's He's also got the respawn invulnerability for a session or two, probably.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. That, which is also very, very cool.
No, I like that. I like that. That's part of the game. You can die, and I've killed a few characters before, some in grand fashion, and others just, it's time to drop this guy in lava.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been brutal. But I played another campaign with Buzzet there, and we had another old friend playing with us, and he just couldn't ever show up. And he took over an NPC I made that I liked, and it was enough that it was kind of both ours. And I was just sick of running it. And it was just, well, dude's not showing up. He's just unable to play it. And I wasn't mean, you know.
Was he there when you killed it?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, see, now that sucks.
It does. And I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of running this guy. He rolls, and I rolled a 1 as he leaped across some lava. And it's like,
please,
done. I don't care.
Please feel free to bring your questions to the discussion. We're more than happy. We're more than happy to take questions during the game, too. If they're very game related, Chris would be happy to answer them. If not, Luke and I will bullshit our way through an answer
to the best of my ability.
Unless it's just straight up trolling.
I don't know if this was a question, but icing death is a +3 scimitar, and it has all the powers of a frost weapon.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah. Twinkle's what, a +4 defender?
Cheers, old man Wrigley.
+2.
And then, second edition, I remember these being bigger stats. But I remember Dritz would, one of those books where, you know, he was talking about his origins and, like Sojourn and stuff like that. He had bracers of haste or something. And he was like, my hands were already, like, too fast, so... I found that placing these bracers of haste on my ankles worked a little better because then my feet could catch up to my hands, and it's just like, oh my god.
When we when we were playing, when I started playing D&D, because we were all super new, our GM, who had run I think 3 or 4 campaigns at that point in his life, Drizzt was the NPC that sort of followed us. So he stayed up in the trees and kept us from getting TPK'd. Yeah.
Apparently we're answering in chat for that question.
Oh, sorry, I just didn't want to run.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I was just going to type it, but then I'm like, it's going to take me 5 minutes anyway. I don't much care as long as there's a reasonable amount of privacy for anybody who's using it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a difficult topic, so why make it more difficult?
I'm totally happy to urinate outside.
Yes.
And in certain streams, you can see him step out and see the back of him as he's urinating out the door. Right on. That's wait. What do you guys call that beer brewery night on Saturdays? You do?
The clusterfuck that is Rysky Business.
That's right.
Yes. So
Tune in on Saturdays to watch.
So Luke Saturday nights is Luke and I do our craft beer show, but one facet of our craft beer show has always been that we're both at heart tabletop gamers and card players and dice rollers and losers and losers. Since we both are married and have children, we managed to get the sexy times back in our life, which means that we're now enabled to roll dice again. That was one of the
I've been
bonuses.
rolling like a boss.
You've been rolling pretty well, man. I'm not lying. I've got 3 sets of dice that are ready to go to the fuck off bag, and I'm kind of heartbroken.
Double critted.
You're
never gonna match that again.
I have to get a set of fuck off dice because I don't keep fuck off dice. I throw them away. So
dice are too expensive.
I have 2 sets of dice that both roll like champs.
I now have a pelican for my dice because they are so powerful that I needed to keep them in a physically lockable container.
You know what are the best containers for dice? No joke.
if you suggest anything but a Crown Royal bag, I will punch you in the mouth.
Those are pretty good too. But like phone boxes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
like
sure.
These are sturdy. They're amazing, and then you're just gonna chuck them anyway. But they hold it.
You know, I may respect your.
That's the best thing that could possibly come out of an iPhone box.
I was going to say that's the only respectable thing that could come out of an iPhone box.
That's an old box.
I know. I've got my old iPhone 3GS box up there somewhere. I don't know.
I remember. I haven't had
sitting beside me right now. I've got an LG G6, a Samsung S7, the new Huawei.
What is this, MKBD or whatever, MKBH? That fellow.
Luke's
Marquis Brownlee over there.
Luke is searching for coolness
Prime.
through phones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I have a new Samsung, a Galaxy 8 tablet. That's great. Thanks.
When we do our regular four pane show for Quantum, the fourth space on the screen is actually occupied by a Huawei tablet right there that I have running on Wi-Fi in the house that doesn't have the video turned on, just so that it can occupy the fourth person in the conversation in Discord.
Oh,
so is
that where you overlay the fantasy ground?
And that's where the fantasy ground sits, right? So if we brought in a third player as a special guest, then we would pop the fantasy grounds out.
That should go to somebody who subs or something like that.
That's absolutely something we can do. And if one of our subscribers wants to take part and play an NPC,
wait a second. If one of your subscriber wants to,
it'll happen.
One of our subscriber
It'll happen.
Has a pretty recurring role on the show.
It'll happen.
There are no small creators.
That's right. No small creators. No small streamers. Just small streams. That is something that actually I have no problem doing. At some point, I think it'd be a lot of fun if one of our regulars, and I know who it should be first, Luke, as do you.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Fancy will be sitting
I was gonna
beside
say
Fancy?
it's gonna be excuse the mantra, tits or GTFO, right? Like Fancy's got to come on board, and I think it'd be a blast. I think she would be amazing. I think she'd have a lot of fun too. So we'll work that out. We'll give Chris lots of notice on that though.
Oh, don't. The less notice, the better.
Oh, really? Perfect. Then we'll just add her to the chat as we fire up the show.
Yeah, I'll just well, just let me know somebody's coming along, and I'll just give them a character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be a lot of fun. So that's something we're really keen to do as we go through this. I think we've been very mindful that right now we're literally finding the road that we're driving down.
And finding things and stuff like that. Like this, what does this turbo mean? I see there's a couple users here. Couple of them that asked some questions here, and they have this.
Yeah, what does turbo mean?
Turbo battery charging kind of icon thing there. I'm the boy. Is that what that says?
Yeah. Oh, they get
I'm old.
they're paid Twitch users, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I noticed a couple of these folks come in here. Old Man Wrigley
was as well. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm more than happy to see that. Maybe that means that that we showed up somewhere on the Twitchy world because we are affiliates or whatever the hell that status is.
Oh yeah. If anybody, if all the three people, oh my gosh, we have more than three people.
There were like eight folks here earlier, but.
I'm the Ars Fantastica person in there, if anybody's wondering. I think Lee and Buzzet know that.
Yeah, Lee and Buzzet know that.
They wish they didn't.
They didn't, yeah. They wish. Actually, I know those dudes IRL.
Yeah, obviously I'm the risky business dude, and Luke is risky Luke. That makes it simple.
I'm the amorphous.
The amorphous,
the
gelatinous.
disembodied.
The gelatinous cube. Yeah.
Gelatinous cube.
There's nothing wrong with a gelatinous cube. Everybody needs a gelatinous cube in their life. Yeah, so I guess next week, as I said, next Monday is a holiday up here in Canucka land. So Chris is on a little mini vacay before getting back to work.
I guess we just spoiled that. That was going to surprise Buzz it with that.
Oh, did I spoil a surprise?
Sorry.
Is he taking you downtown to work your corner or what?
His significant other is turning 40.
Oh my!
Having a big ridiculous party in Kamloops.
Oh, we should all go.
So yeah, it's gonna be kind of goofy, like a bunch of 40-somethings. Hey, we can drink beer like we're 20.
That'll work for the first hour.
Yeah, just being so hungover, throwing up on the way back.
You'll just all fall asleep reading the TV guide.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm getting close, and I can still throw pretty heavy.
Yeah, well, some of us have. Like, I've drank like 10 or 12 times, I think, since I got married. So.
And one of them was an oyster stout.
Yeah, one of them was a transcendent experience.
It was quite good.
And
one of them was Kentucky breakfast stout.
I will warn you in advance, Chris. When I do come to town, which will be sometime in the next few months, you're gonna have to prepare your liver for my visit.
Oh no.
Yeah. When Greg and I get in the same room, we do not fuck around.
Hopefully the concussion has gone away by then.
I'm sure it will.
My goal will be to bring it back.
No.
We hadn't seen each other in person in like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, it'd been quite a while.
And we shot a episode of the show, and over the course of the
still hasn't been edited. Is that bad?
Over the 4 hours that we shot the episode of the show, we drank 10% beers and 6 beers that were more than that.
Yeah, it was not good.
Each.
Yeah, it was not good. It was
See,
it was uncomfortable.
How many months ago was that beer fest?
That was in end of May, June, first week of June. It's 2 months ago now.
Yeah, and I
Mid-June.
I had a few there.
Yeah, you did.
They were just those tiny little.
Yeah, but you had 9 of them, 10 of them, and you hadn't had any for a while.
Over like 6 hours.
Yeah, but the Kentucky breakfast was.
That was amazing.
That was a
I
damn good
can't
beer.
wait to watch Chris drink a Kentucky Bastard.
Oh man,
too.
I will take an entire one of those.
I can't wait to get Luke's face hole onto Hold on Rudolph after 4 years.
I'm looking forward to that.
After 4 years cellared.
I'm
really looking forward to trying one of those in the next week or two. Maybe next Saturday. So that'll be the show for this week, gang. For those Legion of fans still in the room.
There's some people that fell asleep and forgot to log.
So next week's show, next Monday, Luke and I will be here talking RPGs and playing some Munchkin. And the following week, we will be back in Dragonlance world.
As you should be
We are
back
Legion.
start off by then.
Yes,
You should be
Legion.
wrapping that one up.
Yes. So anybody in the comments for this episode, whether it's here or on YouTube, once it goes to YouTube, if you have ideas of games that Luke and I could play on these occasional off nights online in separate universes, since we're 4,000 kilometers apart.
I need to get a copy of Zombie
give us an
Dice.
Well, I'm going to be talking to Lee Valley about incorporating L5R in there, because he is a veritable sage when it comes to that setting.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
And dude, I think all I really want to say is thanks, Chris, man. Like
Aww.
I love you, buddy.
This has been an incredibly fun way to get back into this kind of gaming, and hopefully with slightly less stress than packing up shit and driving over to somebody's house and bringing snacks and
Nothing beats
stanking up other bathrooms.
Yeah, okay. No, you're right. It is best to just play this way.
But all that being said, at some point, you guys are gonna have to figure out a little trip
To Ontario.
Yeah, I do live on a very beautiful lake with wonderful fishing and even more wonderful beer.
Can I piss off your deck?
Do you have room for 10
Absolutely.
people out there, Luke?
Yeah,
Because if Chris comes, he's bringing the horde.
yeah. I've got an outbuilding that can support 2 adults, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Great.
5 or 6 kids,
Oh,
and I have an acre of property and some tents.
yeah. Okay. Just remember, we have 8 kids there. But anyway,
Yeah.
hey, I think you've just kind of laid the groundwork for the first Rysky D&D con.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm in.
Damn. Yeah, I'm going to have to be in on that somehow. All right, gang. Chris, have a great trip next week. Travel
Yeah, man.
safely. Try not to bang into anything with your head.
Again, sorry guys that the session didn't happen, but it was unavoidable, and I
Hey,
appreciate
not a
your
problem,
understanding.
Luke. Family's far more important than dice.
Family first.
That's right.
Just
Did
about,
you roll dice at the hospital? Because clearly you
No,
critted.
I played chess on my phone while I waited.
Your mom calls you and needs you to drive her to the hospital. What do you do?
Call an ambulance.
Mom, I'm
I-
playing D&D.
I literally did call her an ambulance because I didn't want to sit in the waiting room for an hour. So I spent the $55 on an ambulance.
Hey,
That all
you gotta
works.
do what you gotta do.
Cool,
Yeah.
gents.
All right, guys.
Thanks for hanging. We will see you in a couple of weeks, Chris. And Luke, I will see you next week. And actually, I'll see you in like 5.5 days because Saturday comes up first.
Yeah,
Cheers.
you know what, dude? Maybe
Yeah, man.
through the week we should get together. And
You know
play.
what? I think that's entirely possible. Looking forward to
Cool.
it. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Of Quantum Keep.
Hey, can they still hear me?
I don't know, man. What do you think?